One of the benefits of participating in a small group is that the small group can often provide a source of care and support for its group's members when they're facing challenging circumstances. And while it's important that small group leaders are equipped to know how to provide that care and support for its members, and especially to help the group members provide care and support for each other, it's also important to know when the person's needs go beyond what the scope of what the small group can provide. And so as a small group leader, in part, it's your job to discern when the needs of one of your members have gone beyond the limits of what a small group is really equipped to be able to do. So let's talk about how your group can help. Here are some examples of things that are reasonable for a small group leader to mobilize the members of the group to do to help care for someone in need. You could provide meals for someone who's going through a difficult time. You can pray for someone and commit to pray for them and then check in on them later in the week. You can have someone in the group provide babysitting, childcare, so that the adult or the adults can have a night off and just have a chance to get away. If they're sick, you could visit them in the hospital or at their home. Or you could help the group to come together and do some household chores or yard work or maintenance repairs when the person is not able to do those kind of things. Those are the kind of ways that a small group can provide support and care. But now let's think about some of the situations where you really need to go outside of the group and find other help that's beyond the scope of your group. So let's think about some instances where a group member's needs go beyond the capacity of your group to really meet the need. And when that happens, you should talk to a small group coach or really talk to probably a pastor to find out what the resources are available for that person to help meet their need. So here's some kind of situations. Number one is when a person in the group needs counseling or a counseling referral. Secondly, when a person in the group is suicidal. Or maybe when a person in the group needs financial assistance. We really don't recommend that the group become enmeshed in a person's financial needs because that can create an unhealthy dependency. There's help outside the group if you talk to your pastor about that. When a couple is facing a really troubling time in their marriage, or beyond that, when you learn that a couple is separated or they're about to be divorced. And then beyond that, when there's a death in the immediate or the extended family of a member of your group. All those are situations where you can do some things to help as a group, but the need goes beyond the limits of the group's ability. And so really in any situation that you find yourself in where the group is just not equipped to fully meet that need, then that's where you go and seek some outside help. Now, those are just some examples. I'm sure you can think of other situations like that on either of those lists. And in fact, this would be a great conversation to have with your team, your co-leaders, to talk about it, and with your pastor as well to get advice from someone outside the group. And it might be helpful to have this conversation within your whole group itself so that the group can understand its own limits and understand its own capacity to help provide that support for members in need.